Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Colorado Rockies rebuild franchise here on MLB The Show 24. We're here in spring training as we get set for this Year 4 season, and we're kicking things off here against the Los Angeles Dodgers, the team that sent us home on our past postseason run as we lost their Game 5 of the NLDS 2-0. And that was the man who had a stellar pitching performance against us, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Worked into the 9th inning, had 8 1/3, and the Dodgers shut us out there in Game 5 2-0 to advance to the NLCS, where they would sweep the Philadelphia Phillies en route to winning the World Series championship in our Year 3 season. But now our sights set here on Year 4 as we're going to start this game. Ronald Cabrera going to lead us off, battling here for the backup catcher job. Not an easy task here against Yamamoto. Good at that time, his splitter misses down and away, as the Dodgers have certainly been big brother to us so far in the NL West. 110 wins last season, and they finally were able to win that big game over the course of this franchise. First round exits in each of the first 2 seasons, as now Cabrera, a ground ball there to second, and 1 up 1 down here for the Rockies as Pete Alonso there at first base, as he kind of pulled a Kevin Durant. He joins the dark side, comes over to the Dodgers, as we did try to bring him back, but just not enough juice in the tank, as he took a bigger contract, better winning pedigree there with the Dodgers. As now Gavin Lux, as our Dodgers and Rockies, we traded free agents. We signed Dustin May to bolster our rotation. They signed Pete Alonso, and then Gavin Lux going to send that out to left field. We signed Gavin Lux and Brusdar Graterol. So that's 3 Dodgers we bring in over the offseason. And then they signed Pete Alonso, Tejay, Antone, and Scott Barlow. They add a couple more pieces there to their bullpen. So 3 for 3 swap there in free agency. But of course they get the biggest chess piece there in Pete Alonso, who I think signed a 5-year deal, as Brendan Rodgers there, a soft ground ball to third. And a 1-2-3 inning here for Yamamoto. Good start here as we head to the bottom of the first. And on the mound for us in this game, making his debut in the spring, is Dustin May. Last year, 15-11, 4.29 ERA, a 1.43 WHIP. The number's not the best, but you can't deny his dominant stuff that he presents. Just have to harness it, put it all together, as we're going to have him as our number 2 starter in the rotation. We, of course, signed him to be a high-end rotation type guy, as he's set here to make his spring training debut, his Rockies debut, here against his former team. Mookie Betts going to lead it off, as Dustin May, first pitch there, sinker gets in there for a strike, as it's now an 0-1 count here to Mookie Betts. Dustin May signed a 4-year, $60 million deal roughly. And on the other side, Alonso, I think a 5-year, $120 million deal here to join the Dodgers, as he seeks a couple World Series rings. Now a 1-2 count, slurve off the plate. Now 2-2 will work in that changeup. That one's going to be a soft flare out to right field. Hunter Goodman settles underneath, makes the play. 1 up, 1 down here for Dustin May. Look at the Dodgers lineup, just studs all throughout. Betts, Green, Ohtani, Alonso, Outman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Ramon Urias there, batting .357. He was the World Series MVP. And then they brought in Andrew Benintendi to try and see if he can resurrect his career at this point and try and catch on with the Dodgers. Now Riley Green up, batting .367 so far, acquired from the Dodgers back in Year 1, a trade there with the Tigers. As that fastball way up there. Now 1-1 count, we'll go back to the fastball, try inside though, this time that one 2 inside. Now a 2-1, we'll go to the sinker. And Riley Green going to send that out to left field. Yanquiel Fernandez really hoping for a big jump from him offensively this season, as he is projected to be the starter again in left field. A potential, I think, now up to 75, 76 overall. And now here's Shohei Ohtani, batting .240 so far, OPS at .935. The best player in baseball. First pitch there from May. A little low. Now the 1-0. Ohtani does not quite offer at that one, so now 2-0 count. We'll try a cutter. And that one does get in there for a strike. Now the 2-1. And with Dustin May, probably no more than 3 innings, maybe 4, depending on the pitch count, as Shohei Ohtani going to get on base there with a base hit. 2 men out now, runner on first for the Dodgers. Pete Alonso now up, the former Rocky, bidded for an MVP award last season, as he's batting .174 to start his spring here with the Dodgers. First pitch sinker there from May. Misses, and you see there 174, 580 OPS, no home runs yet. As last year he did make the All-Star team for us, finished third in the MVP voting, and now is in LA after signing a 5-year contract to join the Dodgers, leaving Colorado after only 2 seasons. We signed him back in the year 1 offseason. Had that player option as Dustin May issues the 4-pitch walk there against Alonso in the matchup of these players who have switched teams. And now here's James Outman. I don't think May has thrown a first pitch strike yet, as Outman absolutely clobbered us in that NLDS series. And he's now working with the hitter's count, the 2-0 here. And that changeup misses low. That's like 8 straight balls, 7 straight balls thrown by Dustin May, as he does get the swing and the miss there on that sinker. And he's already up to 22 pitches with that fastball that does get in there for a strike. So here, full count. Runners will be in motion. We'll try a changeup. A soft ground ball there to short. Leonardo Rivas over to first. And Dustin May does get out of that. A little extraneous here. 22 pitches, 23 pitches, but we got out of here unscathed. Still 0-0 heading into the second. And we actually are just going to quick manage our hitting in this game. Nothing doing there in the pop of the second. We just really want to focus on Dustin May in this game. In the next one, we'll go hitting as we face Tariq Skubal, who has signed with the San Francisco Giants. So we'll see him here in the next matchup. First pitch finally does get in there for a strike, although the sinker way up there, not where you want it. As now that fastball gets in there as well. So a quick 0-2 count here. May on his former catcher as he gets the 3-pitch strikeout. Will Smith fooled on that one. We get the slurve. He wasn't sure whether he should swing, look, and he did a little bit of both. As now Max Muncy up 5 home runs so far in the spring, leads everyone. 1-0 count here, swing and a miss on a fastball. Now the 1-1 will go change up. Switch it up, change up the speeds. That one low and away. I'll go fastball here on 2-1. As that one's fouled off. 100 miles per hour consistently being hit so far from Dustin May. We'll go back to it. The 2-2 fastball. Swing and a miss right down Main Street. As Dustin May, a good rebound here in the second. Back-to-back strikeouts to start. As he gets his former catcher. And now Max Muncy, his former teammate there. And that brings up Ramon Urias, batting .357 so far. He was hitless in the NLDS, went like 0 for 12. And then went on to be the World Series MVP. And now he's off to a tremendous start here in spring training. .357 batting average, .942 OPS. As he's really stabilized that third base position here for the Dodgers. As he brings a good glove out there, former Gold Glove Award winner. As it's now a 2-1 count to him. Back to the fastball, that one fouled off. So a chance to strike out the side here. We'll go slurve away. The 2-2 from Dustin May. Swing and a miss. As Dustin May, good response here in the second, strikes out the side as we're still scoreless here heading into the bottom half of the inning. Gavin Lux with an RBI single as the Rockies now have taken the lead by way of a former Dodger with the run batted in. Andrew Benintendi up to the dish. Over 100 career home runs for him. Kind of surprised to see that, but we are into 2027 now, so you got to consider that as well. As he looks at an early 2-0 count. Make it 3-0 count. You got to attack the number 9 hitter here. 3-0 fastball. That's a 4-pitch walk again. The second 4-pitch walk issued here by May. As command, especially early on against these batters, has proven to be a little tough for him. So a leadoff walk as the lineup does turn over here. Here's Mookie Betts as that sinker misses. Now 1-0 will go with the cutter. And that one drilled out to left field. And that's going to be caught by Fernandez. I did not think he was going to catch up to that one. Great play there out there in left. And I mentioned he has to get it going with his bat. But he's been solid in the field. Has a decently strong arm. Good speed. So he's a well-rounded player. Still young. Left-handed bat. And I think he will come around. But hopefully sooner rather than later. As we kind of need to pick up in the lineup with the departure of Santander and Pete Alonso. Now here's Riley Green, a soft ground ball there to first. Runner was in motion, so no chance at a double play. As Tolio will just step there on the bag. 2 down here in the third. That'll bring back up Shohei Ohtani. I don't think it attack him too much in this spot with first base open. As that circle change just in. Now we'll try sinker away. Swing and a miss way early on that was Ohtani. And now the 1-1 here. Dustin May already at 45 pitches, so more than likely not going to send him out here for a 4th inning of work. Let's just get through this last out. As it's now 2-2, we'll go to the slurve. And that one not even close. No full count. We'll just go low changeup. We walk him, and that went away. So a 3rd walk issued here by Dustin May. Not the best debut, but if you get out of this inning, I think he'll take it. With no runs given up here against this potent Colorado offense, as Pete Alonso back up as he wants to surely put the ball in play here against his former team. First pitch slurve there, misses. And now we'll go with the fastball. 6 pitches now faced by Alonso, all balls, now the 2-0. And that one down, so make it 3 balls. And we got to send out a mound visit here. It should not be this stressful for Dustin May, making his debut here in spring training. But I guess that does make, it does prepare you for the season. Working in tough spots like this. Now the 3-1, and that changeup way in, so that's going to walk. The base is loaded now. The 3rd, is that the 3rd walk of the inning here for Dustin May? Or the 2nd? As now bring up James Outman. First pitch fastball does get in there for a strike. He needed that. And now here's the 0-1. Another fastball looked at by Outman, so a quick 0-2 advantage here for Dustin May. Let's try a changeup. Swung on and missed. A 3-pitch strikeout. Great response from May. And he has battled back through adversity so far in this game. You like to see that. A lot of walks, but nothing to show for it for the Dodgers, as our Rockies still up 1-0. But that will do it here from Date Palm Field, as the Rockies take this one 3-0 in our first meeting with the Dodgers since our exit there in the NLDS. We have big things, big hopes on the horizon for this season, as Dustin May does get the win. We win 3-0, solo home runs from Luis Robert Jr. and I believe Brendan Rodgers in this one. Gavin Lux an RBI single as well. Dustin May, 3 innings, just 1 hit allowed, but 4 walks with 4 strikeouts. And Ken Hughes gets his 3rd save of the spring so far. We're now back out here for some Cactus League baseball. Our Rockies a very good start here to the spring, 9-3. And today we'll get our first look at Tariq Skubal here as a member of the San Francisco Giants. But first, here's Aaron Civale making his 2nd start here in the spring. Has made a relief appearance as well. 57% strikeout rate. That is otherworldly, obviously just in a small sample size here. 5 innings, but we are going to have a player lock game here with Alex Parra. And here you see him, Ryan Mountcastle, a 2-run home run already to put us up ahead. But here's Alex Parra hitting in a cleanup spot. 4 home runs already through the spring for him. Our 7th overall pick going back to the year 2 MLB draft. Currently the 39th MLB prospect. And as I said, 4 home runs through the spring. Hits lefties incredibly well. Although here against Skubal, certainly a tough opponent, as he signed a huge deal to join the Giants. As that fastball up there now 1-2. They have a very great top end of the rotation here with Skubal. As a swing and a miss there on the curveball. But with Skubal, Logan Webb, and of course Blake Snell as Alex Parra. He started off the spring so hot. Still the 871 OPS despite the 172 average. And we were thinking he might compete for a roster spot, but probably just going to keep him down there in AAA. A swing and a miss there on the fastball, as it's now 0-1, and that sinker misses low. But we probably will just keep Parra down at AAA again this year, at least to start, as he gets under that one. Soft fly ball there to left field, as he flies out now 0 for 2. Now a 3-2 ball game. The Giants take the lead. We're here in the bottom of the 6th. Alex Parra did hit a walk-off home run in one of the first games. That time a swing and a miss at the changeup. Really need to get something going at the plate so far in this episode. As another pitch in there for a strike, looking at that one. As now Alex Parra faces an 0-2 hold. Swing and a miss. Alex Parra now sent down on strikes again. Not a good showing here from our third base prospect here. Have high hopes for him, but just not putting it together here at the plate in this game. As that Rudy Tellez up to the plate, 3-2 ball game here in the top of the 8th. And Alex Parra leaves a lot to be desired in the field. A very strong arm here at the hot corner, but just not a smooth fielding third baseman. Well, this time a pretty routine play as we do get the out there. Now heading into the bottom of the 8th. 3-2 here, Giants. And Ryan McMahon will be brought on as a pinch hitter. Very good start to the spring for him at 450, OPS at 1.2. And the Giants do take this game as Alex Parra 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Not the best display at the plate, but we'll get it together. Going back to the Futures game episode in the Year 3 season, we actually went 3 for 3 with him at the Futures game. 2 home runs as we were named Futures game MVP. But here, Tariq Skubal, his second win here in the spring. Max Fried gets the loss. And Brian Abreu, his third save, as Ryan Mountcastle, newly signed here to the Rockies, goes 1 for 3 with a home run. Robert Jr. 1 for 3 with a double. Ronald Cabrera 1 for 1 with a double, and Benny Montgomery 2 for 4 with a double. With that, our Rockies now sit at 9-4 here in the spring. And if you didn't realize, I did go ahead and play like the first 11 games offline, where we did have a pretty good run. Started off winning the first 3, then dropped a couple, but ended up I think 8-3 when playing offline. Then here in this episode now 1-1. So we will simulate this next week. We'll just go through real quick as we're down here 2-1 in the bottom of the 9th. And we do fall there against the Rangers. Now here against the Royals we'll simulate, and we fall there 9-1. Jeez. Let's take a look at what happened there. Fell here, big loss. Really nothing offensively. 2 hits there for Willie MacGyver, battling there to be our backup catcher, a double. And pitching, Michael Yamashita, one of our top pitching prospects, 2 earned in 4 innings. Not the best for him, although he has been good to this point. Dustin May, a scoreless inning. And then Antonio Senzatella, 5 earned, did not even record an out. So there was never really a chance for him to make the 26-man roster. Certainly not after this one. 2 earned there from Taj Bradley, his first earned runs of the spring. Gregory Soto, 3 walks, but no earned runs. We'll go back here to this Texas game. Another 1 run posted by our Rockies. 2 hits here for Gavin Lux. One was actually a solo home run. Juan Ayala. So we have Yamashita, who just started the last game now. Juan Ayala, 2 of our top pitching prospects. And Ayala, a good start here. 4 scoreless innings, 3 strikeouts. Max Fried, an earned run out of the bullpen. But other than that, pretty good. Lucas Gilbreth, still a 0 ERA on the year. We'll go ahead and look at some stats. We're now halfway pretty much through the spring. So we'll get a feel for who's been kind of showing out so far. And leading in hits here, Ryan McMahon batting 410 hits here along with Ronald Cabrera, another player battling for that backup catcher spot. We talked about MacGyver and now Cabrera. We drafted him in the 6th round. He was our final pick back in year 1. And he came in like a 66 overall or so, kind of where he's at now. But he has regressed a little bit. Going back, he did see some time in the MLB in that year 2 season, as we just really lacked catching depth. 52 at-bats, he batted 288, 351 OBP. So he can get on base, provide a little spark there, a decent arm behind the backstop, a decent glove out there as well. So 80 contact versus righties, you like that. Not going to provide much for power, but someone who I have had at the top of the lineup there in AAA, and he just always produces. So maybe Cabrera opens as the backup catcher. And then here's his competition, Willie MacGyver, 30 years old. So he's a little bit older to not have, played in the MLB quite yet, but probably a more solid, well-balanced fielder with probably a stronger, more complete arm than Cabrera, but not going to provide much at the plate. But as far as backup catchers go, pretty solid overall. Right now batting 250 in 20 at-bats. Now we'll just kind of sort by category here. Nolan Jones batting 385 in 13 at-bats. Mountcastle 350 with 3 home runs in 20 at-bats. Cabrera. Ezequiel Tovar is having a very good spring so far. Really want the bat to maybe take a step forward this season. Already a Gold Glove Award winner with that 96 fielding. One of the best fielding shortstops in the game. That clutch rating at 81, very strong. So hopefully that vision discipline can go up a little bit. He's only 25 years old. It's already 4 full seasons under his belt. And last year he posted a career high in OBP. So certainly a solid player overall, really coming around and having a very good start here in the spring. Eloy Jimenez, free agent signing to come in and replace Santander as our designated hitter. 39 home runs last year, 99 RBI. Signed him to a very cheap 3-year deal with that player option on that 3rd year. So a big motivation from moving on with Santander is that Jimenez wanted like half the money, and he has 4 home runs already in his first 22 at-bats here in the spring, batting 318, slugging at 864 with a OPS over 1,000. Nick Senzel batting over 300. Signed him to a multi-year deal this past offseason to return to Colorado. Yanquiel Fernandez batting 265 in 34 at-bats. Another player we really want to take a step forward. Very balanced, throughout his entire skill set. No clear weaknesses now at A potential. I'd like to see him jump up, become more of a contributor at the plate. Last year batted 218. His rookie season, though, a little bit more productive. with the slash line higher in every category going back to that first season, but still a lot of potential to grow, only 24 years old. Then down here we have Luis Robert Jr. batting .250, 2 home runs and 20 at-bats. Jansen hasn't really been out there much. Gavin Lux, 3 home runs and 29 at-bats, slugging .552 pretty much every time he makes contact. It's going over the wall so far. Betty Montgomery, a young outfielder here at 24 years old, 73 overall. Probably going to catch on as a reserve outfielder for us on the 26-man roster. Love the speed. Hits lefties a little bit better than righties. And we pretty much got rid of Joe Adele because we had Benny Montgomery to come up and take his spot. And down here, the numbers don't look too good. We have Alex Parra here, who we, of course, just had that game with. Did not look good for him, but he led our AAA team with 24 home runs last season, 72 contact and power versus lefties. And he's someone not far from making an impact at the MLB level. That glove, of course, not MLB ready, but I don't know if we're ever going to really have him as a mainstay at third base, probably more so of a DH. And he does have 4 home runs on the spring so far, but batting just .152 with that slugging at 545. Ben Rogers, Heriberto Hernandez, Goodman, and Joshua Baez. So we saw Parra and Jimenez lead with 4 home runs. Lux and Mountcastle here with 3. RBI leaders, Eloy Jimenez with 9, Mountcastle with 8, Parra with 7. And I don't know if I mentioned, but he did have a walk-off home run earlier in the spring. Let's go to rates real quick, or doubles. Cabrera does have 5, Fernandez with 4, also a triple for him as well. Looking at WAR, Ronald Cabrera leads in WAR at .8. Leonardo Rivas, a utility man who I didn't really expect to make a case for getting on the roster, but with that fielding, that speed, his versatility, switch hitter last year hit 160 and 50 at-bats, but he's doing pretty good, batting .280, a home run so far here in the spring, so he might be a dark horse to get onto the roster. Although I think, I don't know if there's going to be room for him. Walk rate, Danny Jansen here at the top. Joshua Baez here batting .067, so I think he's just 1 for 15. Rogers, 10%. Same with Parra. Michael Toglia, he had such a great stretch there in the NLDS. Just, put him into the starting lineup, I think in game 1, game 2. Hit a home run in his first 2 at-bats. The first 2 pitches he faced, he goes yard on. And I was really hoping he would have a strong spring. But we might just put him on the roster anyway. Batting just 179. Very high K rate. Hunter Goodman, Luis Robert Jr., Joshua Baez, and Toglia. K rates all over 40% so far. And then going over to pitching real quick. Juan Ayala here at the top. A top 50 prospect right now in baseball. 73 overall B potential, 24 years old. And we also had here Michael Yamashita, 20 years old, B potential, 73 overall. Both of these guys right-handed pitchers who we selected in that year 1 draft. So we're starting to see some of our own prospects that we've drafted. We had Alex Parra there for position players. And now here at pitcher, Juan Ayala and Michael Yamashita, 2 guys that we also drafted. Yamashita was a 3rd overall pick going back to year 1. I think Ayala was 35th overall in that compensatory round or whatever it was. So innings pitched, Sensatella has 12.1. 6.57 ERA, not really going to make the cut. Kyle Freeland, who we're trying to get into a long relief position this year, 12 innings, 5.25 ERA, only 6 strikeouts in that span. Getting a little bit older now, probably among the franchise leaders all time in innings pitched, if not the leader, with 91 wins. Hopefully we can get him 9 wins this year and get him to 100. But $15.5 million contract here. This is one of those contracts along with Sensatella, who's at $10.1 million. Both of them signed for 4 years since we started this franchise, so we were dealt some bad contracts here to start, which was some of the intrigue in picking up the Rockies, as it was a big challenge to try and turn this team around. Michael Yamashita with 12, a 3 ERA, .58 whip, so he's been very good. Originally in the offseason, I had plans of letting Yamashita and Juan Ayala here battle for the number 5 spot in the rotation, but after missing out on Pete Alonso, it opened up some more budget so we could sign Dustin May and Patrick Sandoval, so we'll give these guys another season in AAA. As Juan Ayala, 10 innings, 10 strikeouts, no earned runs, a .8 ERA, 2-0. Both of these guys, very good numbers so far. Yamashita 4-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Juan Ayala 5-1. As they're among the innings pitched leaders. Jack Flaherty probably going to be our number 4 starter this season. Aaron Savali, 9 innings, 16 strikeouts, but a 5 ERA. But of course, all these sample sizes extremely small, limited. Lucas Gilbreth, 12 strikeouts and 8 1/3, no earned runs. Now 31 years old. He's been extremely solid over the first 3 years of this franchise. Love to see that. He's going to be with Gregory Soto in our bullpen as our 2 lefties. Brusdar, Graterol, 1.17 ERA, a .65 WHIP, and 7 2/3. Brought him over from the Dodgers. John Curtis, Max Fried, Patrick Sandoval. Signed him from the Angels. 2-year, $22 million deal with a player option. He's been all right to start here in the spring. Ken Hughes, 3 out of 3 on saves, 5 2/3, 8 strikeouts, no earned runs, a .71 ERA, .71 WHIP, as he's set to be our closer long term. Probably going to try and just lock him up to maybe like a 5-year contract at some point this season. Robert Stephenson, we just signed him as, like a spring training invite now at 34 years old. Hasn't pitched in the majors since 2024, although a return out of Colorado. He is pitching well here in the spring, a 3.18 ERA, 106 WHIP, 7 strikeouts. Phil Maton also signed him, 34 years old. He's pitching very well, 8 strikeouts, 5 innings, 1.8 ERA, .8 WHIP, and then Dustin May, 4 scoreless innings so far. Let's go to strikeout rate over here. WAR first, .4 here for Ayala, Gilbreth, and Freeland. So even though Freeland's numbers aren't the best, a high WAR as he leads the team so far. Ks per 9, Savali with 16, Phil Maton with 14.4, Gilbreth just under 13. Ken Hughes, Robert Stephenson, an outside chance to make the 26-man roster, but he is pitching well. Flaherty, Fried, Bradley, all over 10 as well. Now for walk rate, Dustin May is at 9 per 9, and we saw he had 4 in that start to start the spring, so hopefully that goes down a little bit. Home runs per 9, Sandoval at 3. We don't want to see that. Savali at 2, and then it goes down from there. So just a quick, touch up on our numbers, our stats at this point in the spring. I think now we're ready to maybe sim ahead a few games. I do want to get another few player lock games in this episode. Not quite sure who we're going to roll with, but we'll sim ahead again, look at numbers, and then figure it out from there. So another bad offensive showing, only 5 hits in this game. We lose 2-0, and the pitching wasn't bad, just nothing doing at the plate. So now 4 straight losses here. Dustin May back on the bump, and we're up 2-1 here in the bottom of the 8th, and we do hang on to win, but still no scoring really. We had 9 hits, 2 from Heriberto Hernandez, 2 from Willie McIver, battling for that backup catcher spot. He now is batting just under 300. Dustin May just 1 earned in 4, and then we were scoreless after that. The next 5 innings, Ken Hughes, another save, Maton, Graterol, and Senzatella, the scoreless effort after that. And now here we're down 6-4, bottom of the 8th against the Milwaukee Brewers. But we'll now move ahead. We dropped that game against the Brewers. We're here in extra innings now against the Cleveland Guardians, top of the 10th. Davis Daniel on the mound. Yanquiel Fernandez at the plate here for Colorado. The only run in this game came from Fernandez, a solo shot back in the 3rd or 4th inning. As that time a ground ball to short, and that'll keep the runner at 2nd. That'll now bring up Nolan Jones. Came on as a pinch hitter back in the 7th or 8th inning. 0 for 1. Not many at-bats for him so far in the spring. As that one, the ball a little high and in, as it's now the 1-0. And Jones gets a good wood on that one, but does foul it off. Now evened up here, 1-1 count. Nick Senzel there on 2nd, representing the go-ahead run. Good eye that time from Jones. Fastball down. Now the 2-1. And good wood on that. Perfect, but a ground ball there to short. The throw does force the first baseman off the bag, but he's there to tag Nolan Jones. And bad fortune that time. Good fielding there at short. 2 active shots there to start. Jordan Beck on. And I think here we will look to go to pinch hitter. His clutch is at 54. And we do have a few guys down here. I mean, I feel like Eloy Jimenez makes a lot of sense. I think we will just go to Eloy Jimenez. 4 home runs already on the spring for him. Batting .333, OPS at 1.172. Signed him as a free agent, traded to the Padres last season, as they just missed a playoff run, and they are going to just intentionally walk him. And who is that going to bring up? We'll just leave him as a runner for now. And that brings up Ezequiel Tovar, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He came on as a pinch hitter for Leonardo Rivas back a couple innings ago. And Tovar, good one on that one as he slaps that into left field. Jimenez going to round second, head for third. And Jimenez just slides in there. And an RBI single here from Ezequiel Tovar. A tremendous spring so far for Tovar, as he's batting, I think, over 400 still. His 5th RBI here. This one to drive in the go-ahead run. And we have another runner here in scoring position as that brings up Warren Bernabel. But he's 0 for 3 in this game. I think we'll go to the bench here in this spot. I'm tempted to go with Alex Parra, but he's so cold right now. He has so many at-bats as well. Probably want to get someone else out there. I think we'll go with Ryan Mountcastle. Hasn't had many at-bats, but 3 home runs. OPS at 910. He was signed in free agency along there with Eloy Jimenez, who's now on third base. First pitch there to Mountcastle, misses down. And so in the lineup, we lose Santander and Alonso, but we gain Mountcastle and Jimenez as Mountcastle there to left field as he flies out. So the Rockies do take the lead here in extras, 2-1 off that Ezequiel Tovar RBI single. But now we'll have to shut the door here in the bottom half of the inning. Coming on to bat is Jo Adell, none other than the former Rocky. So far, no hits through the spring. Probably hasn't had many opportunities, as we do have Ken Hughes on the mound for us, our closing pitcher. Hughes did record the last out there in the bottom of the 9th, so in line for a win here. If he can knock it out here in this pretty much save situation against his former teammate, Jo Adell. We acquired him back in year 2 from the Los Angeles Angels. As that fastball misses high. Now a 2-0 count. We'll go cutter this time. Try and get him in on the hands. As that one misses inside as well. Jason Churio there on deck. As Adell works a 3-0 count here. And that one called a ball, definitely in the zone, but a 4-pitch walk issued there by Ken Hughes. Now the winning run on base for Cleveland. And of course Jo Adell has that 96 speed there. And it looks like they are going to try a drag bunt. At least that's what it said, as Churio slaps this out to deep left field. Fernandez there to field it, and the runner will hold there at second. So no harm, no foul there. 1 away. Runners at first and second still. As that brings up Lawrence Butler, batting .444 so far, with an OPS over 1,000. I want to try and get the double play ball to end it here for Ken Hughes, as Butler offers one there, down and in. We'll go back to the cutter here. That one a little bit off the plate, as it's now a 1-1 count. Try a low changeup this time, as Butler not offering. Now the 2-1, we're going to try and keep it down in the zone, as Butler not offering. And again, Ken Hughes in a bad count here. 3-1. Juan Brito on deck. And we just got to attack Butler this time. That one in there for a strike, so full count here. And we're going to try and pull the string here on the payoff pitch, as a ground ball there to first. Mountcastle 3-6-3 as that ends the game. An RBI there in the top half of the inning by Ezequiel Tovar knocks in the go-ahead run, and Ken Hughes slams the door here in the bottom of the 10th as the Rockies pull away here with the win. It's been rough going here in our last few games. We had a tremendous start to the spring. I think 9-3 to start, but since then it has not been good. I think 3-9, something like that, as we kind of went reverse. But Ken Hughes gets the win. Only 4 hits in this game, as we haven't had much offensive on display here in the past few games, but we'll take a win here. As we're now back here at our schedule, pretty much just 10 games left, I think. We'll simulate a couple here. We lose there 4-1 to the Rangers. We'll take a look at the box score. Only 4 hits again. 4 hits in back-to-back games. A home run from Bernabel. Dustin May, not the best outing. 2 earned in 5. Lucas Gilbreth, another scoreless inning. 2 strikeouts there. Still no earned there for Lucas Gilbreth. Now here against the Athletics, we'll simulate this one as well. We won 4-2. We get back in the win column. 2 hits from Brendan Rodgers. Now batting 117. He's really been struggling, so good to see him getting going a little bit. Ryan McMahon, 2 hits. 2 hits from Michael Tolia. A home run from McMahon. Aaron Savali, 2 earned, but scoreless. 4 innings after that. Ken Hughes, another save. Phil Mayton, his 5th hold, a 1.12 ERA so far. And now we're here against San Francisco. And I think we'll simulate this one, and then we'll jump into a player lock game with Juan Ayala and take a look at one of our young pitchers. Top of the 8th here, a 1-0 game for San Francisco. No outs and 2 men on here for Danny Jansen, and we lose 5-0. We do not come up in that situation. 2 for 4 was Rodgers. He's kind of, stringing together some multi-hit performances. Again, just 4 hits for the offense, as Yamashita went 5 innings, just 1 earned run. 4 earned there for Soto. Didn't record an out. You don't want to see that. His ERA now over 6. But, 1 bad outing, and that number can balloon so quick. As the Rockies now 13-11 in the spring. We're going to take on the Chicago Cubs here. And as I said, we're going to do a player lock game with Juan Ayala, one of our top pitching prospects. And we'll showcase him a little bit here. 73 overall. And don't pay attention to any of those progressions. That's all just a glitch. When you're in the in-game menu and you look at player cards, it shows weird progression and stuff for some reason. But there's nothing at this point in the season. So he does have 64 walks per 9, 62 Ks per 9. Those are both pretty good at this point. 55 in hits and home runs per 9, but you love the 89 velocity, 79 break with good clutch there at 64. He was pretty good last year in AAA now, putting up tremendous numbers here. 10 innings pitched, 2-0, 10 strikeouts, no earned runs. As I said, we are going to jump into a player lock game here against the Chicago Cubs, as they did re-sign Nico Hoerner to a big contract. Spencer Torkelson they acquired back in year 1. They just traded for Spencer Steer from Cincinnati. So big shakeup here for the Cubs, who actually did win the World Series back in year 1 of this franchise over the New York Yankees. And then it was the St. Louis Cardinals over the Tampa Bay Rays. And then it was the Los Angeles Dodgers this past year over the Tampa Bay Rays. As actually Kevin Cash is now our manager. A lot of shakeup there. Bud Black promptly retired in a shocking development. So, you know, kind of a new era here of Rockies baseball, as we did make the playoffs for the first time in almost 10 years. And we're going to try and be a constant player here in October baseball. But Juan Ayala, 10 innings pitched, a .8 ERA, 10 strikeouts, 27.8 strikeout rate, pretty much 5-1 there, strikeouts to walks. A 24-year-old pitching prospect who we drafted in the 2nd round back in year 1 of this franchise. We'll take a look at him here in his spring training, his first spring training, as he gets that first pitch in there for a strike. His first spring training spent last year, time between AA and AAA. There's now an 0-2 count, 2 fastballs in there against Lane Thomas. We'll try the slider now. And I think we'll get a game in with Michael Yamashita. Strike 3, 3 pitches, and Lane Thomas goes back to the bench. 2 fastballs, a slider, and good command early on from Ayala. Nasty stuff. As I was saying, we'll take a look at Ayala here and then take a look at Yamashita in his next start. And now Ayala misses there, 1-0. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa up for the Cubs. As then we'll go cutter. That one hammered to left field. Is that going to go? Diving. Stopped there. Diving attempt there from, I think, Joshua Baez maybe out there in left. As Isaiah Kiner-Falefa gets the double served up there by Ayala. And now a runner in scoring position. I thought that was hit a little bit deeper than it was. I thought that might get over the fence. So we'll take the result there. Nico Hoerner now up, as he's established himself as one of the best infielders in the National League. A cutter there swung on and missed. I think we'll go back to the slider here for the put-away pitch. That one a little too far off. And then we'll try the fastball again, and then maybe go back to a breaking ball as that fastball fouled off. I think we'll give him one more fastball up and in. And he swings and misses at that one. Hoerner sent down on strikes. So 2 strikeouts and a double so far in this first inning for Ayala. Now here's Spencer Torkelson, acquired back in year 1 from the Detroit Tigers. These trades really have to be fixed in this game. Some of them are just absolutely absurd. Strike 1 there on the slider, swung on and missed. I get, you know, the further you go along in franchises, the more trades can maybe get off the wall. But at first, you know, why are the Tigers trading one of their most promising prospects in the midst of a rebuild? And now 2-1 count. That cutter misses low. And now here's the 3-1 with Teoscar Hernandez on deck. First base is open, so you don't have to give him really anything to hit, but he does foul off that fastball. As now it is full here. Here's the payoff pitch. We're going to go slider, actually. And the 3-2 slider does not work out that time, as Ayala issues the walk. And that now will bring up Teoscar Hernandez. First pitch fastball that time misses low. Now the 1-0 here from Ayala. That one swung on, hard hit, but just foul. Absolutely roped there off the bat of Hernandez. Now we go curveball, ground ball there to second. And that is going to be 3 outs here, a walk and a double, but 2 strikeouts from Ayala as the offense coming to bat here. More Cactus League baseball as we head towards the end here of spring training. Now back here on the mound here, Spencer Steer to lead us off in the top of the 2nd, as he was acquired here from Cincinnati. I think they sent Dansby Swanson to the Reds. And the Cubs also acquired, I think, Nick Lodolo. So a pretty good trade there from the Cubs against a division rival. Spencer Steer batting .375, one of the best hitters for average in the National League. And that one popped foul. Going back to year 1 of this franchise, the Cubs also traded, or I'm sorry, the Reds. They also traded Elly De La Cruz to the Angels as a hot shot there over the third base. I think Brendan Rodgers getting the start here at third. And Spencer Steer going to turn that one into a leadoff double. And now make it 2 doubles so far, served up by Ayala. Now here's Christopher Morel, kind of struggling to get back on pace with his early career output. Kind of fading here in Chicago, although a decent spring. Not average-wise, but 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, a 738 OPS. Now the 0-1 fastball in there for a strike. And now an 0-2 here. I think we'll go high fastball, try and get him swinging at a bad pitch. Not going to offer at that one at all. I think we'll try a front door curveball. Haven't really thrown any of those with Ayala, as that one hot shot foul just missed down the line. Now we'll try the slider here on 1-2, and that one just misses. Now 2-2, we'll try the fastball again here, and that one just misses inside. So full count again here. And we'll just go back to the fastball, the payoff pitch, and that one strike 3 called just on that inside quadrant of the plate. Ayala maybe a pitcher's friendly call that time, as Morel goes back to the dugout looking. And now here's Shea Langoliers batting just over 100 so far at 109. First pitch curveball misses inside. 5 RBIs though. OPS at 302. Fastball gets in there for a strike. Now the 1-1 go right back to it. Swing and a miss there from Langoliers. We'll try it again. That one popped up, and it looks like it will go out of play. And now we'll try the slider here. I don't think we've shown him a breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Nasty work there from Ayala. I think now already up to 4 strikeouts. A little, high variant with the doubles allowed, but the strikeouts, you love that, really. When he's on hitting his spots. And now here's the number 9 hitter, Kelvin Alcantara, as a fastball gets in there for a strike. And now here's the 0-1 Alcantara. A very good spring for the Cubs so far, trying to get a roster spot. Although looks at another fastball. Now the 0-2 will go right back to it. And that one fouled off. I think we'll try a curveball this time on 0-2. Swung on and missed as Ayala 3 strikeouts in the inning. Make it 5 now on the day for him, as it's still 0-0 here heading into the bottom of the second. Let's see if we can get some runs on the board. As we did, Joshua Baez an RBI single. He's really struggled so far in spring training. Good to see him get an RBI and a base hit now. 1-0 Rockies, top of the third. As that fastball gets in there for a strike from Ayala. Wayne Thomas back up. Very good spring for him as well. A lot of these Cubs hitters, very strong showing so far, but Thomas did strike out his first at-bat. Swing and a miss now down 0-2. Let's try that slider again, see if we could establish that as the put-away pitch. And that one swung in and missed. Ayala is on an absolute strikeout tear right now. Make it 6 now, as that's the first out here in the third inning. That one a little bit higher than he wanted, but good velocity, good cut on that slider. Now Connor Falefa back up, doubled in his first at-bat, pops that to center, and that is going to go for the second out of the inning. I think that was Benny Montgomery making the catch there, as that brings up Nico Horner. Go first pitch curveball, and that one gets in there for a strike. Looking at that one all the way. Now we'll try a cutter here on the 0-1, and that one does miss low. Now the 1-1 here, try the inside fastball on the hands, and that one just inside. Now the 2-1, try the slider. It's been working really well for us so far. That time ground ball to third, fielded there by Brendan Rodgers. Throw to first, and that's going to do it again. 1-0 still after 3. Ayala still very impressive as he sets them down in order this time. Still 1-0 here in the top of the fourth. Ayala still out there, 48 pitches into this outing. Walked Torkelson his first time up. Starting with the fastball as that misses low. Now the 1-0 here. Try the cutter. And that one seemed like it was mashed foul there from Torkelson. And now the 1-1 will go back to the fastball. As Torkelson rips that to third. Rodgers another play there at the hot corner. And Mountcastle there at first can't pick it, as Torkelson reaches there on the E5. And Rodgers not his natural position there at third. Of course, more of a second baseman, a Gold Glove second baseman at that, but not a good throw that time. Obviously a much different throw from third as opposed to second, as now Hernandez fouls that one off. A 1-1 count coming up. Try the slider, get a double play ball here, as Hernandez works that to left field. Baez does get there for the out, so 1 away here. Runner still on first, as that brings up Spencer Steer, a double back in the second. Let's get a double play this time instead. Cutter fouled off. 0-1. Now we'll try a slider. Strike 2. Swung on and missed. I think we'll go right back to it. More of a waste one this time, though. Down and away as he does ground that to second. As we do get the first out at second and double play ball here from Ayala. His stellar pitching performance continues as he induces that double play ball after that error. No, and that doesn't going to phase him at all as he just gets right back to work despite the setback. Rockies still up here heading into the bottom of the 4th. And it's now a 2-0 game. Brendan Rodgers makes up for that error with an RBI single. And they are going to leave Ayala out here to start the 5th. A deep outing here considering it is the spring. And I feel like in these player lock pitching games, they kind of do give you a very long leash most of the time. As that fastball just off the plate. And it's now 2-0 here to Christopher Morel. And I'd really prefer they pull you, quit while you're ahead, rather than working deep into this game and maybe, giving up some runs, giving up some hits. As now a 4-pitch walk to Morel. And then we'll bring up Shea Langoliers. Struck out his last time up. Let's see if we can get another double play ball here from Ayala. Go cutter. Looks at that for strike 1. Go right back to it here, the 0-1. As Langoliers shoots that into the right center gap, and that's what I'm talking about. Quit while we're ahead. As I think Morel is going to round third, head for home. The relay is going to just hold there as they eat that. So now 2-1. Shea Langoliers, breaks out of a big-time slump, batting just over 100 in that spot. Much needed as he splits the gap there and gets the Cubs their first run of the game. Now Kevin Alcantara on with runner in scoring position. As that strike, we don't get the call. Now the 1-0 here from Juan Ayala. Cutter there grounded to short. Tovar, good play on it. And they do get the out there at first. Lane Thomas now up there batting .329, but 0 for 2 with 2 Ks today. As he looks at a first pitch strike. And it's now 0-1. We'll go back to it. As that one fouled off. A quick 0-2 count here. And we'll go to that trademark slider. As that one fouled there on the first base line. We'll go back to fastball now. Re-raise that eye level. As he fouls that off, we'll do it again. Raise it even higher though. I thought he was kind of in swing no matter what mode there, but holds up well there now. 1-2. We'll try the front door curveball as that one kind of swayed away. And it's now 2-2. Ayala now over 70 pitches. Strike 3. I was going to say it's been a while since we got a strikeout, a punch out. But that time Lane Thomas now 0 for 3. And I think Juan Ayala proving to be his kryptonite. That is now 2 outs here. Connor Falefa back up 1 for 2 with a double back in the first. As Ayala that time fastball high. Now the 2-0. And that cutter just barely gets in there for a strike. And I'm hoping they pull us after this. No need to work over 80 pitches in a spring training start as Falefa serves that to left field. Baez there to make the play. Ayala works out of a jam. Maybe being a little overworked in this one, but we'll take it. Very good showing so far as he's allowed 3 hits, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts going into the bottom of the 5th. And that will be the day here for Juan Ayala. Max Fried, another bullpen session for him as he's had 8 appearances, 15 2/3. Very good numbers here with a 2.87 ERA. Lefties not hitting him at all, but righties 3.18 against him. And we'll see if he and the rest of the bullpen can slam the door here. As we had a lot of action, we do win 5-2. Willie MacGyver, a home run. Jimenez, an RBI single. And MacGyver then an RBI single. So Willie MacGyver definitely, making a case to be the backup catcher over Ronald Cabrera. But we'll see what the final numbers are. Still a few more games left at play here in the spring. As Ayala now 3-0. A very good outing from him in this player lock game. And Ken Hughes his 7th save here so far. So a nice 5-2 victory there over the Cubs. And we are getting there, folks. Only 6 more games left. We'll simulate a few more here. As it's 3-3 here. Bottom of the 9th against Seattle. And we do drop that one 6-5. So we did extend that into extras. We each got a run there in the 10th. Then they get 2 in the bottom of the 11th to win 6-5. Cabrera gets a hit. Ron McMahon 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs, batting .340. 2 hits for Leonardo Rivas. McMahon did have a home run. Fried 5 scoreless innings. Graterol, though, a blown save. Kyle Freeland a scoreless inning along there with Stevenson. But Kent Hughes gets the loss. He pitched 1 in the 3rd, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned, 2 strikeouts, but a .72 ERA for him so far. Now we'll sim here. We have Dustin May on against the Diamondbacks. 4-3 here, bottom of the 8th. And we do hang strong there. You like to see that. Gavin Lux went 4 for 4, batting .333. Ryan McMahon continues to rake 3 for 3 with 3 more RBIs, 2 hits for Bernabel. As McMahon, another home run. He's probably our best hitter so far in the spring. May just 1 earned in 5. Flaherty 1 earned in 1. As his ERA at 7.53, not the best showing for him so far. And Ken Hughes does get the save. And now we're down to 4 games left. We'll simulate this last one here against the Rangers. And then we'll do a player lock game with Michael Yamashita against the Reds. And I think after that, we'll pretty much call it and go ahead and finalize our roster for the Year 4 season opening day. As now Ken Hughes on for a save against the Rangers. And he hangs strong there, gets another save as he's perfect so far in the spring. 2 for 3 there was Rogers. Really had that average climb up after a very poor showing to start. Nick Senzel a triple. Flaherty, good outing, much needed here. Probably his last appearance before the season. 1 earned there in 5. Soto a scoreless inning, and Hughes his 9th save. ERA now at .62. Now we're back here at Date Palm Field for probably our last look-in at this team here in the spring. 16-12 are our Colorado Rockies facing the Cincinnati Reds, who are 12-14. An intriguing squad here for the Reds. Harper Wootman, standout first baseman, who they selected 2nd overall back in the Year 1 draft. He was our primary target. We had the 3rd overall pick, and they selected Harper Wootman at 2nd overall, but there's Andrew Abbott on the mound. We're going to get a chance to look at who we selected 3rd overall as we now turn it over here in the bottom of the first. A player lock game here with Michael Yamashita. That's right, we selected him 1 pick after Harper Wootman, who we are going to see here shortly. First pitch fastball outside there. Tejay Friedl leading it off here for the Reds. A 5-pitch mix from Michael Yamashita, 20 years old, 73 overall. Swing and a miss that time from Friedl. Now the 1-1 count. And I really just wanted to get a look at our top 2 pitching prospects in the organization here. Swing and a miss there on the 94-mile-per-hour fastball. And I'm talking about here between Ayala and Yamashita. The 1-2 go curveball, and Friedl is not offering. Originally in the offseason, I was expecting to have Yamashita and Ayala battle it out for the number 5 spot in the rotation, but as I said earlier, with Alonso signing with the Dodgers, that freed up some budget, and we could actually just bolster that spot in free agency, where we ended up signing Patrick Sandoval, and that slider just inside. Sandoval along here with Dustin May, who we saw earlier in the episode. So here's the payoff pitch. A full count worked here by Friedl as we go changeup. Really good eye that time. Tough customer that time as a leadoff walk. Now here's Will Benson. Goes sinker that time. That's ripped foul. Benson, very good numbers, batting .328, leads the Reds with 4 home runs. OPS there just barely over 1,000. And we will go back to the sinker here as he chops that one foul. Now an 0-1, we'll just go with a changeup here, kind of in the dirt. As he's going to ground that to short. 6-4, 3 double play. As Michael Yamashita, the leadoff walk, but wipes it out right after that. As he gets the ground ball there to shortstop. Good turn there. Tovar to, I think that's Rivas there at 2nd. Or maybe that's Bernabel. And then Mountcastle here at 1st. So here's Harper Wootman, the aforementioned number 2 overall pick from that draft. We'll take a look. 23 years old, 79 overall, 4 home runs, 289 so far in the spring. Last season, he did make the All-Star team, 26 homers, batted .288 with a .494 slugging and .849 OPS as a 22-year-old. The first of many All-Star appearances for him. And it was Wooten who we wanted, but we ended up with Yamashita 3 years younger at 73 overall, and probably still a year away from making the MLB roster, but a very promising pitcher we have. But Wooten is going to be one of the best hitters here in the National League, I think, before too long. As Yamashita there, a ball misses the zone low. So here's the number 2 overall pick versus the number 3 pick from the 2024 MLB draft. Another fastball low. We'll try a slider here. See if he offers at that here on 2-0. That slider does hang up there in the upper part of the zone, not really where you want it. We'll try the sinker now on 2-1. And that one right over the plate, so Wooten really not aggressive. As now we'll try the slider again here on 2-2. Wooten smashes that one foul. And we'll do it again. We'll try the front door curveball. Haven't mixed that in yet. Yamashita already 15 pitches here in this first inning. As Wooten staying alive. Fouls off the curveball. Now we'll try the changeup again. And that one, Wooten again just looking at it. As Yamashita gets the strikeout. A double play to start and then a strikeout. As we're scoreless here after 1. 1-0 game here. I'm not sure how we scored. I missed that. So Logo Nahapi now, catcher for the Reds, up to the plate, batting .206 so far in the spring. Not the best output, looking at strike one there. 89 miles per hour on the sinker. Ohapi acquired from the Angels, I think in the year 2 offseason. As this time a rip to right field, but right at Nolan Jones, as that's the first out. 1 up, 1 down here to start the second. And now here's Dansby Swanson, we just mentioned earlier, traded here to the Reds from Chicago as the division rivals kind of, you know, exchange business here, as they send Spencer Steer and Nick Lodolo, the Chicago Cubs. A good spring so far for Swanson. Tremendous longevity at shortstop, especially, you know, here in the National League for the duration. As he's now into an 0-2 count. We'll try the slider away. Don't want this one breaking over the middle of the plate. Swing and a miss there from Swanson. Tremendous work there from Yamashita. That slider gets him chasing. And now 2 strikeouts from Yamashita. 2 up, 2 down here to start the second inning. We got sinker, fastball, and then slider, you know, a little bit more away with those high velocity pitches, then break it off with the slider. The slider at 84, the sinker at 87. Not much disparity there. And now here's Fernando Gallegos. As a shot there to first, fielded by Mountcastle, as Yamashita sets him down in order here in the second. 1-0 Rockies heading into the third. Now leading off the inning will be Matt McLean, batting just 185 here so far. Desperate to get something going, get some momentum going into the regular season. First pitch sinker there as he fouls that off. We'll go back to the sinker here on 0-1. And that one does hang up there for a strike. 0-2, I'm tempted to go slider, but we'll just try a change up here, kind of down and in. And that one not chasing, good stop on MacGyver. And now we'll go slider again here on 1-2. Slider has been working well, but not tempted that time. And now we'll try the fastball high and in. We haven't really gone with a high fastball. And that one will get him, not as high as I wanted it, but kind of more center cut. But swing and a miss there from McLean. There's now 2 strikeouts here. I'm sorry, 3 strikeouts now for Yamashita. Starts the third with 1. And there, here's Cam Collier, one of the top third base prospects in baseball, batting .315 so far through spring training. 876 OPS, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, I believe 22 years old. The left-handed third baseman for Cincinnati, as he pops up that fastball. That goes foul. And it's now 1-1. We'll just kind of rely on this sinker. And that one is chopped foul again. So another advantageous count here for Yamashita. Will try the changeup low and away here on 1-2. And that one looked at for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts now to start the third. Yamashita finding his form. Our pitchers here, Ayala, Yamashita, maybe a potential 1-2 punch down the road. They are showing out here in the spring training so far. Dylan Carlson, a swing and a miss there at that sinker. Now we'll switch it up, go changeup here on 0-1. And that one fouled off. That changeup hung up a little bit higher than I wanted. And that's caught, tracked down there by Luis Robert Jr. Getting a start here in left today. That's another nice inning there from Yamashita. Still 1-0 after 3. The lineup now turns over. Tejay Friedel, the last base runner here for the Reds, led off the game with a walk. And a swing and a miss there on the sinker. Really good pitch so far from Yamashita. A lot of swing and misses. Now the 0-1 will go fastball. Hot shot there to first. Another nice play there from Mountcastle, as he's going to take that himself to first base. Now 1 away here. Here's Will Benson, batting over 300. OPS just under 1,000 now. As he's 0-1, we'll start him off with a changeup. Nice swing and a miss there. Michael Yamashita in full command so far, mixing things up well, relying on that sinker. As we'll go with that here on 0-1. And that one fouled off. Another good count here from Michael Yamashita. We'll try the high fastball. I haven't really mixed that in much, but we got to, at some points, that went a little too high. Now let's try a curveball down and away. See if Benson chases here on 1-2. Nice pitch there from Yamashita, grounded into the outfield for the base hit. The first hit here for the Reds. A nice pitch from Yamashita, an even better counter there from Will Benson as he reaches the 1-out single. And that'll bring up Harper Wooten, the arch nemesis here of Michael Yamashita. Struck out his first time, then a swing and a miss there. He didn't swing at all last time. Swing and a miss that time on the high sinker, hangs up in the zone. We'll go back to it. That one more down, looked at for ball 1. As it's now a 1-1 count here. Runner on first, 1-0 Rockies here in Cactus League Baseball. We'll try a change up here on 2-1. Wooten a swing and a miss. And I think we'll just try it again here. 2-2 change up. That one far too inside. Now full count here. We'll try a sinker. Logan O'Hoppe on deck, and Wooten pops that up into right field. Nolan Jones gets in there to track it down. So now 2 outs here in the 4th. Good battle there between Yamashita and Wooten. But again, advantage Yamashita, as that'll bring up Logan O'Hoppe, batting just over 200 now at 203. Start him off with a fastball. We just get that corner. Nice pitch from Yamashita. And now we'll go slider on 0-1. And that one looked at for ball 1. The 1-1 now from Yamashita. Fastball there misses just inside. So now 2-1 count here. Pitch 50 of the day coming up for Yamashita. Swinging a miss there from O'Hoppe. And now 1 strike away from getting out of this 4th inning. Go with that slider. O'Hoppe, nice ground ball there to short, fielded by Tovar to second as he goes the short path. And we get out of another inning here. Yamashita still no runs allowed. It did surrender his first hit, but it's 1-0 Rockies here after 4. Still 1-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. Dansby Swanson to lead it off. Yamashita now into his 5th inning of work. Just 2 base runners allowed through the first 4. 1 by way of hit, 1 by way of walk. And I want to say 3 or 4 strikeouts, I think, to this point. As that fastball up there clips that outside part of the plate. So again, Yamashita in the driver's seat. 0-2 here to Swanson. We'll go with that slider again as he ropes that foul. Now we'll try a fastball up and in here on 0-2. And that one looked at for ball 1. Now we'll go with the front door curveball. And Swanson swinging a miss there. That one in the dirt as we get the throw to first. Another strikeout here as Swanson now 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Yamashita 5 strikeouts so far now into the 5th inning. We'll take another look at this one. Nasty curveball there in the dirt. Swanson looking silly that time, as that now brings up Fernando Gallegos. First pitch sinker there, roped foul. Now we'll go fastball here on 1-1. Right down the middle. And Gallegos probably wants that one back. Swung on and missed. Now the 1-2 will go change up down and away, as Gallegos does foul that one off, staying alive. We'll just go back at him with the fastball this time. As he swing and misses at that one, Yamashita another strikeout. Back-to-back here to start the 5th. Now 6 on the day for him. And now Matt McLean up. 61 pitches now on the day for Yamashita. What did Ayala get to, like 70 or so? As McLean does look at ball 1, we'll try and just rely on the sinker in this at-bat. Get something on the ground if we can, but McLean sends that to left to Robert Jr. And now there's going to be 5 scoreless innings posted here from Yamashita. 2 more strikeouts as he sets them down in order again. Still 1-0 here after 5. And now they will go to the bullpen here. Kyle Freeland has 17 2/3. He has gotten that ERA way down now, just over 4, as he's set for a long relief spot in our bullpen along with Taj Bradley. We got that righty-lefty combo there in a long relief spot. And a very good start here from Michael Yamashita as our Rockies hang on here to win 2-0. As we have just now 2 games left in this spring. Yamashita and Ayala, tremendous springs from them, as they're probably more than ready for a spot by next season. Maybe even this season they could have, had a spot in the rotation. But Yamashita now 2 for 2. The Rockies post a shutout here, only 2 hits allowed in a combined effort, as Ken Hughes gets his 10th save of the spring. 5 innings that time for Yamashita. Just 2 base runners allowed, 6 strikeouts. He gets the win. Our Rockies now 17-12, just a half game out of the Royals for the top team here in the Grapefruit League. Also the Mariners and Rangers up there as well. But just 2 more games. We'll simulate this one against the White Sox, as Juan Ayala does get a loss in this one. Not a good outing to end his spring in the lineup, though. 2 hits for Tovar. Alex Parra had a 2 RBI double. Luis Robert Jr. a home run. But Ayala 6 earned, 5 walks, as he allowed 11 base runners. Not a good outing from him, like I said, to end. Taj Bradley scoreless in an inning and a third. Curtis allowed another run, not the best spring from him. Gregory Soto, scoreless inning along there with Robert Stevenson. So now just 1 game left here against the Brewers. And for this one, since it is the last game, we will just quick manage it. Maybe we'll jump into the 9th inning, just play one more frame of baseball here before we break into the regular season. And we'll just stick with whatever our lineup is. So Patrick Sandoval, free agent signing, going to make the last start here for our team. A leadoff walk there to Monasterio, although he is caught stealing, as I think Willie McIver throws him out. A walk there to Christian Yelich. He steals second, though, and then a ground out. So now Nick Senzel to lead it off, strikeout, and then another strikeout there from Robert Jr. So Aaron Ashby, a 1-2-3 inning to start. Ty France reaches on an error and then steals second, so they're just going super aggressive as Mason Wynn an RBI double. Sack bunt, moves him over. Now Joey Weimer, sack fly. So it's 2-0 here. Travis Blankenhorn there gets out. Now bottom of the second, a leadoff double from Nolan Jones. Eloy Jimenez strikes out a ground out from Tovar, and then a fly out from Parra. And now Monasterio back up, a solo shot to lead off the inning. Ground out, pop up, ground out. So good response there from Sandoval after serving up that leadoff home run. As we get a 2-out single there from Senzel. And then Brendan Rodgers strikes out. So now top of the fourth. Pop up, then a 1-out double from Wynn. His second double, then a single from Churio. Strikeout, and then a strikeout. So Patrick Sandoval works out of trouble that time. A leadoff walk now to Robert Jr. A single from Jones. He's 2 for 2. And now Eloy Jimenez up with runners on first and second. No outs. He flies out. Now Tovar. He grounds out. Now Alex Parra, and he flies out. As we're now top of the fifth. Another solo shot to lead off the inning there from Monasterio. But then again, Sandoval responds well with 3 straight outs. And I usually wouldn't, leave him in so long, but he hasn't had much action here in the spring. Just to get him something, just get him a little more of a sample size. We'll go hit and run there. Montgomery does get to first on the fielder's choice. And then nothing doing after that. So we will go to the bullpen here. I think we'll bring out either Mayton or Graterol. We'll go with Phil Mayton here. 10 1/3, 1.74 ERA, a .77 whip. Signed him from Philadelphia, as he's been on winning teams each of the past 3 or 4 seasons, as he gets a 1-2-3 inning there. And now Ranger Suarez brought on as Robert Jr. strikes out. Another strikeout, then a ground out. So 1-2-3 there from Suarez. Now we'll leave Mayton on for a little bit longer as he gets another 1-2-3 inning. Now bottom of the seventh, strikeout there from Tovar. Now Alex Parra, ground out 0 for 3. William Gavin does get a single. Every little bit helps there as he tries to make this roster. Now looks like Montgomery had a double, but runner was thrown out. Now top of the eighth, we'll take out Mayton. He's had 2 strong innings. We'll bring out Lucas Gilbreth here. 14 innings, .64 ERA, a .93 whip. Just absolutely dominant so far. Serves up a leadoff single, though, to Westberg. Now Tyler Stevenson on, strikes out. Eric Haas fly out, so 2 away here. Brock Wilken, a 2-run home run. Now 6-0 Brewers. And that's the first runs allowed here in the spring by Lucas Gilbreth. Just could not quite get out of it unscathed. Now Nick Senzel to lead us off here, as he does get a leadoff single. So I think we'll go hit and run here with Brendan Rodgers, as we do get the ground out. Now Luis Robert Jr. on, as he strikes out Nolan Jones, a walk. So 2 men on here for Eloy Jimenez, and he strikes out. So it's now the 9th inning, 6-0, but we'll just jump into it. We'll get one more inning of action here in the spring, and then we'll go through, make our roster finalizations. We'll send guys down to AAA, finalize our 26-man roster for the looming Year 4 opening day. As here's Jackson Churio batting 311 so far with a OPS over 9. And we did just bring Brusdar Graterol in for this final inning of work, as he serves up a sinker. Good numbers so far for Graterol. Comes over from the Dodgers along with a few other guys such as Dustin May and Gavin Lux. And then signing with the Dodgers was Pete Alonso, Scott Barlow, and Tejay Antone, as we had that swap, pretty much the 3-player swap, as Brusdar Graterol going to serve up a home run here for Jackson Churio, as he's hoping for big things this season is Churio, as he continues to grow into one of the better players here on this Brewers team. His 3rd of the spring, and we couldn't quite get out of this one without serving up something. We allow a home run before we get an out here in the top of the 9th, as the Brewers kind of pouring it on here in our final spring game. Was hoping to go out on a high note, but probably not going to be the case, as it's now 7-0 here in the top of the 9th. Joey Weimer on as that cutter misses. We'll just go right back to it. There's a hard ground ball there to first, fielded by Nolan Jones for out number 1. Now Travis Blankenhorn on. No hits to show for him in the spring so far. Not sure if this is maybe his first game of action, or if he's just struggled that much. The 0-1 will go sinker. That one right over the plate, as he does launch that to the wall. Benny Montgomery giving chase to the wall, and he makes the play there just short of a home run. Blankenhorn would have closed out his spring on such a high note if he had a home run in his final at-bat for his only hit in the spring, but not the case. As now here's Joseph Ortiz, a ground ball there to second, diving stop by Rodgers, throw to first, and that will do it. So just 1/2 inning left here in the spring. Rockies trailing 7-0. Let's see if we can rewrite this huge deficit. Elvis Peguero on for his 16th appearance here in the spring. 4.11 ERA, 15 1/3 innings pitched. Righties hitting him pretty well. Lefties Joe just 100. As Ezekiel Tovar up 340 average. I think we'll go to a lefty in this spot. Let's go with Gavin Lux batting 339 so far, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 955 OPS. Has really come around here in the spring. It was a slow start for him, but he's really tore it up here. Gonna, I think, have a big role on our year 4 team that time. First pitch swinging right back to the pitcher. Good glove that time from Peguero. Otherwise would have been a base hit up the middle. As one pitch went away here in the bottom of the 9th. As that'll bring up Alex Parra. We had a poor showing with him in his player lock game earlier in the episode, but let's try and get it together this time. His last at bat, as he looks at that fastball just down. Parra had 24 home runs last year in AAA. Started the spring with 4 very quickly, but just nothing after that. Really nothing offensively at all. Went on a really bad skid here. As now a 1-2 count, fouls off that changeup and that swing earlier. Before that, it was not pleasant. Hopefully you missed that one. As we're now down 1-2. That one inside. Now the 2-2. Parra gonna ground that to third. Diving stop at the foul line. And a strong throw there. I think Ortiz over there at third. As he retires Parra, trying to end the spring on a high note with a base hit there down the line. But third baseman had other plans. As our Rockies now down to our final out here in the spring. Willie MacGyver 1 for 3 on the day, but we're going to send up Danny Jansen. Really hasn't had many opportunities. We were going heavy Cabrera and MacGyver at the catcher spot because obviously Jansen is the starter in a contract year now. And I think we're going to try and make a run at Adley Rutschman this upcoming offseason. Jansen swinging a miss there at a first pitch changeup. Now the 0-1. And that one way off the plate. Now 1-1 count, slider misses away. And then a swing and a miss at that inside changeup. And now the Rockies now down to their final strike. And swing and a miss there from Danny Jansen. As the Brewers take this one 7-0. Our Rockies shut out here in the final game of spring training. But still, we end with a pretty good record. We had some good contributions from some younger players. Some good contributions from some new faces, such as Gavin Lux, Ryan Mountcastle, Eloy, Jimenez. Ken Hughes was phenomenal as our closer. Our bullpen as a whole was tremendous, and our starting pitching looked pretty good as well. So a lot of things to be encouraged about this Rockies team heading into year 4, coming off our first playoff appearance. Although Brusdar Graterol definitely wants that one back because he served up that home run to Churio. But 7-0 here in our final game, and now it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty and assemble our 26-man roster. But before we do that, we have to do a quick run through here of our stats. Just, take a look at who kind of shined. Leading the way in hits were 2 lefty bats here. Gavin Lux had 19 along here with McMahon, 18 for Tovar, 16 each for Cabrera and Bernabel. 2 guys probably going to be in AAA. I don't know about the catcher spot, though. We have Ronald Cabrera here, batted 267, no RBIs, no home runs, on base of 323. And slugged 383. So a 706 OPS, and then you come down here to MacGyver, a 627 OPS, and a lower slash line across the board compared to Cabrera. But he did have a home run, did have 6 RBIs, so more of an impact in that spot. Although the clutch rating lower, Cabrera has 57 of 46. And while Cabrera has a stronger arm, MacGyver is the stronger fielder. So I think we might go Cabrera just based on the fact that he has had a little bit of experience. He's kind of been a fan favorite there in AAA. And he's produced, really wherever we've put him. So I think he's going to be the backup catcher this season. Stolen bases, didn't really have many, but home runs. So 4 here from Parra, McMahon, and Jimenez. 3 from Mountcastle, Luis Robert Jr., and Gavin Lux. 2 from Fernandez, Jones, Bernabel, Senzel, Herberto Hernandez. 13 RBIs from McMahon, 11 from Jimenez. In average, McMahon led at 380, Tovar 340, 333 from Lux. Jones at 323, 300 from Jimenez. And at the bottom, Baez just hit 120. He'll be in AAA to start. Same here with Hunter Goodman at 161, although he did have a home run. Herberto Hernandez, we thought, might challenge for the catching spot as he has that as a secondary position. Good power numbers, good bat, but just 186 average, although he did go yard twice. Michael Toglia, not as good as we hoped, batting just over 200, but still probably going to be on the opening day roster, I think. Fernandez, a little sporadic, inconsistent. 2 home runs and about 60 at-bats at just 207 batting average. Senzel's average really dropped along here with Robert Jr., OBP who led Jones, McMahon, Tovar, Lux, Mountcastle. Slugging was McMahon at 700, Jimenez 625, Lux, Jones, Mountcastle all over 500. McMahon the only player with a OPS over 1,000. And then strikeouts, 25 from Robert Jr., not a good number. 21 from Parra, 20 from Leonardo Rivas, although he did hit 240. Double, 7 from Cabrera led the team. 3 triples, Senzel, Montgomery, Fernandez with those. And now going to WAR, 1.2. Tovar led the team, McMahon at 1 as well. I'm sorry, MacGyver at 1, McMahon at 0.9 along there with Cabrera. So both catchers battling, pretty even in WAR. Cabrera had a higher walk percentage, lower K rate, better walk per 9, and a better isolated power number. So I think he is going to be the guy there as our backup catcher, at least to start the season, although at deep potential, he probably will start regressing in a lot of categories, as I think that was the case at some point last season. Now, WAR, we had -7 here from Hernandez, and then -0.6 from Yanquiel Fernandez, who we've talked about throughout this episode. Really want him to step it up this year, but that -0.6 WAR is not going to do it. Negative here from Tolia, Mountcastle, Jimenez. I'm surprised to see that. Walk rate, Jones, Robert Jr. Baez actually a good walk rate despite that 120 batting average. He was second in K rate. You don't like that. Robert Jr. struck out in about half his at-bats. We have to get that better. Walks per Ks, Mountcastle, Jones, Senzel, Rogers. Isolated power, Jimenez, McMahon, Robert Jr., Mountcastle. And then we'll go over to pitching. Ayala led with 3 wins, 2 from Hughes, Yamashita, Savali, May. Yamashita and Fried here with 22 innings pitched led our team. May with 21, Savali with 20. Ayala, Flaherty, Freeland up here as well. Saves. Ken Hughes went 10 for 10 with saves, 15 and a third, 16 strikeouts, a .59 ERA, .78 WHIP. He has been absolutely dominant since we acquired him back in year 2 from Baltimore, straight up there from Bretton Doyle. Definitely served to be a good trade for us. We have our closer of the future. Going to look to lock him up long term. Savali, 28 strikeouts, led the team. Flaherty and Ayala with 23, Fried with 20, 6.05 ERA for Flaherty was highest on the team. You don't like to see that from someone who's probably going to be our number 3, number 4 pitcher in the rotation. In a contract year, potentially, as we do hold a team option. Senzatella up here and Soto over 5. John Curtis at 4.6. He was a little inconsistent. Ken Hughes led at sub 1. Phil Maton, Lucas Gilbreth here sub 2. Michael Yamashita led all starters at 2.05. Then Robert Stevenson here, 13 innings, 17 strikeouts, 2.08 ERA, 1.23 WHIP. He was so good. Really just a spring training invite. I don't know if we have space for him, but he certainly earned a spot. Dustin May, a very good spring. We like to see that. Taj Bradley as well, 12 innings, 2.25 ERA. Graterol was good. Did give up a few home runs, though. Leader in WHIP here was Maton, Yamashita, Hughes, Graterol, each sub 1. Lucas Gilbreth at 1 even. Bradley, May, Sandoval, good numbers there. Holds. Maton had 8, Gilbreth with 5, Soto 4. Leaders in WAR was Ayala at 0.7. Wow. Fried, Freeland, May, Hughes, Yamashita. Only 2 players with negative. That's pretty good. 0.1 for Sandoval, 0.1 there for Soto. Leader in K rate was Savali. Stevenson was second. Led all our relievers. Flaherty, Ayala, Gilbreth also over 10. Soto 10.2 walks per 9. Stevenson about half of that. But Senzatella the best in that category along here with Gilbreth. Home runs per 9. Flaherty and Sandoval each allowed over 2.25 per 9. Not good. Graterol up there as well. Savali, Curtis, Senzatella all over 1. But no home runs allowed all spring from Stevenson, Freeland, Dustin May, Maton, Ayala, Hughes. So I think with that, we're ready to go ahead and make our adjustments to the roster. We'll start off here in pitching. And, of course, May, Fried, Sandoval, Savali, Flaherty. That is going to be the rotation. And then Ayala here and Michael Yamashita will open as our top-end starters here in AAA to start. So Ayala will finish at 19 2/3 with 23 strikeouts to 9 walks, a 3.2 ERA, a 1.22 WHIP, whereas Yamashita in 22 innings, 18 strikeouts, just 5 walks, 2.05 ERA, and a .68 WHIP. So as I said, had we not been able to afford both Sandoval and Dustin May in free agency, we would have had one of these guys as our number 5 starter, and I probably would have been inclined to go with Michael Yamashita. But both will open in AAA for another season of development, and I expect really big things from them, not only this season, but going on into future years. Senzatella will call down as well. So glad we're going to get his contract finally off the books, as that gives us 6 starting pitchers in AAA, but we'll figure out the whole bullpen situation. So Right now, 6 pitchers with Freeland as our long relief guy. At this point, now into 2027, he is the Rockies' all-time leader in wins with 91 and innings pitched at this point, 1550. So we're going to try and get him to 100 wins on the year before we get this $15.5 million contract off the books. So between Freeland and Senzatella, that's going to free up over $25 million. So, just freeing up that money alone will give us almost enough to chase Adley Rutschman to replace Danny Jansen as our catcher. And now here in the bullpen, everybody was good. Everybody was very good. Curtis, the ERA a little bit higher, but still he's been so solid over the course of this franchise last year. A 1.85 whip and 58 in the third. So good. Soto, a 5.11 ERA. That whip is always going to be up there because of the walks. So he is a little more sporadic. I don't know if we bring him back next year, but as long as he can at least, stay consistent somewhat, we'll keep him in our bullpen. Gilbreth, solid, didn't allow a run into that last game. And now Robert Stevenson, the 2.08 ERA, 1.23 whip, had the highest strikeout rate of any reliever, but already at 6 pitchers with all these middle relief guys, that would put us at 13. And then with Ken Hughes, our closer, that'll put us at 14. So we have to call down 1 pitcher at least. And unfortunately, I think Robert Stevenson is the odd man out, so we'll send him down to AAA. And I think he's going to do well, so he might find his way back up very soon. He's our next man up if we have to call up another pitcher. So right now that gives us 13 pitchers. If we have to call down somebody else, I don't think that's really something we can do at this point. Although we do have 3 lefties now with Soto, Gilbreth, and Freeland. John Curtis, I really hope he can, continue to pitch at a high level, but I don't know if that's realistic at this point. Now 34 years old. We really just brought him back on that $3 million deal just because he's been so reliable, and we felt like we kind of owed him that. So that's kind of our pitching at this point. Now catching Danny Jansen is going to be the starter, of course, now onto an expiring contract as we hope to replace him with Adley Rutschman this coming offseason. That is the plan. But as I kind of already said, I think we are going to make Ronald Cabrera the backup catcher here to start. I think he just provides a little more energy than Willie MacGyver, although I do like MacGyver as well. Higher potential at C potential, but 7 years older than Ronald Cabrera, so how much can he really offer at this point? So we'll go ahead and send down Willie MacGyver. But if Cabrera struggles, even in a limited sample size, we won't hesitate to just call it MacGyver and switch him up there. So with that, we'll call Daniel Cope up here to AAA. Ken Ramirez will be our AA catcher along here with Elvis Arnaz. And then over at first base, of course, Mountcastle will be the guy. Michael Tolley, I was really hoping he would play a little bit better. I don't think his spot on the roster is set in stone, but for now we'll leave him. Hunter Goodman will call down to AAA. Had an outside shot at securing that backup catcher spot with that catcher at secondary position, but just did not do enough. But a good fielder, going to hit lefties well, and performed well last year in AAA. So now leaves us with 7 more players we have to call down. No one here at second. Gavin Lux was phenomenal, maybe our best player here in the spring overall. Brendan Rodgers struggled early on, but really put it together. Now going to third base, Nick Senzel, Ryan McMahon, both going to make it. McMahon hit 380, 4 home runs. Now 32 years old. Another big contract at $14 million we're going to get off the books. So going into this free agency, we're going to have a ton of room to work with. Kind of like Freeland, McMahon, probably among the leaders here in home runs, average, and hits when it comes to Rockies' all-time history. And then Alex Parra, going to call him down to AAA. Let him kind of work it out a little bit more. It was very good for the Isotopes last year, 24 home runs, but not quite ready to make it at the big league level, but just 20 years old, plenty of time, and he very well could be on the roster next season. Warming Bernabel was very good towards the end, but still, not doing enough to quite make the roster. He'll maybe be on it next season, definitely going to compete for a spot. As now here at shortstop, and Leonardo Rivas, I think it might come down to him or Michael Toglia, as I like what Rivas brings to the table as a nice fielding, good speed, utility guy. Not always going to, provide much at the plate, but he works good at bats, and he can always bunt it, a switch hitter at 29 years old. 50 at-bats last season for us. Did hit a home run in that small sample size, so we'll leave him for now. And now here at left field, of course, Jimenez going to make it as our designated hitter. Signed him to a cheap 3-year deal with that player option. 1 home run shy of 40, 1 home run shy of 40, 1 RBI short of 100. We'll see if we can get him there this season. Yanquiel Fernandez, despite a disappointing, inconsistent spring training, going to probably be the opening day starter there in left field. Joshua Baez only hit 120. We'll send him back down to AAA. Acquired him from the Cardinals, I think, back in year 3 in that Cal Quantrill trade. And Heriberto Hernandez also going down to AAA, someone we acquired in year 1 from Tampa Bay. Now leaves 3 more players. I think Robert Jr. going to make it, of course, but Montgomery, I think we will have him on the roster as a depth outfielder. We like that speed, can offer a little bit against lefties. 24 years old, has hit well over the course of his minor league career. And over here at right field, Nolan Jones, of course, going to make it. And then Jordan Beck will call down to AAA, which now leaves 2 more spots. And I think Rivas and Tolia might both need to be called down, as I didn't really expect that. It's kind of rough to keep Cabrera over one of those players, but we really just need a catcher. And none of these guys offer that flexibility. So I think, wow, it comes down to, because I don't think we're calling down any of these pitchers. I mean, Curtis probably on the fringe there for a little bit. Maybe Soto. But I think we're going to go with 13 pitchers to start, which means we are going to have to call down 2 of these guys on offense. I think Rivas, as much as I like him, I think we'll just call him down to AAA to start. Always could call him back up. And it really comes down to Montgomery or Tolia. And despite how good Tolia was in that NLDS series against the Dodgers, I think we just need to send him down to AAA, let him figure it out a little bit longer. But I do like the switch hitter. He has that left-handed glove there at first base, a good fielder with decent speed. But then again, Montgomery does provide speed. We really need that off the bench. And I think it's time to, call him up to the big league level. But at the same time, he's 24. Tolia already 28. But Montgomery is a higher overall. So tough choice here. Montgomery has 1 out of 3 of those options to use. Tolia probably at 3 out of 3 as he is. So if we call down Tolia, he is going to have to pass waivers. But I think at this point, in spring training, your players really don't tend to get claimed. And, with Gavin Lux here, kind of a utility man as well, maybe not an everyday type player, I think we could afford to have him out there in center sometimes as a backup outfielder, as Jimenez is not really going to get any looks in the outfield, just a designated hitter. So we do need to add some more depth in the outfield, which Tolia does bring. I mean, he can play the corner outfield spots, and then Lux can be our guy as our backup center fielder, along there with Robert Jr., who could play center. So as much as I want Benny Montgomery to, open on this roster, I think it makes more sense to keep Tolia with his experience. Also, we don't really have many first basemen. I think aside from Mountcastle, McMahon, really the only other player in the lineup with first base eligibility. I guess also Nolan Jones here, but still, I think Montgomery will send him down, give him a little more time, and then hopefully he'll be ready before too long. But that is the 26-man roster here. We'll just scroll down here. We have a few players over 90 overall now in Jones, Robert Jr., Mountcastle, followed by Dustin May, Max Fried here in the high 80s, Danny Jansen at catcher, Sandoval and Savali are 3 and 4 guys in the rotation. Graterol and Hughes are top relievers. Tovar, our young shortstop. Jack Flaherty really has to put it together. Still a potential at 31 years old. Eloy Jimenez, Brendan Rodgers, Nick Senzel, Phil Mayton, Ryan McMahon, Yanquiel Fernandez, Gavin Lux, Taj Bradley, John Curtis, Gregory Soto, Lucas Gilbreth, Kyle Freeland, Michael Tolia, and Ronald Cabrera makes the opening day roster for the first time. So that does it, folks. We're now officially into the 2027 season. Max Fried set to start opening day as we're going to open against the Arizona Diamondbacks and Ryan Nelson here. It's going to be March 25th, 2027 as we're going to start a 4-game set on the road against Arizona and then a 3-game set on the road against the Giants. And then we'll have our home opener here April 2nd against the Arizona Diamondbacks. But this is where I'm going to leave you, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was a long episode, going through the spring training here, but our Rockies now entering year 4. Big things on the horizon for this team. Currently projected win another wild card spot, as taking down the Dodgers definitely going to be hard, but we're still certainly in line for a playoff spot as it seems. So as always, everybody, it's been real and be well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.